Hey there! We are constantly hearing about the incredible, almost magical things artificial intelligence can do. But what if I told you that behind all that power, there's a surprising, almost shocking fragility? Today, we're going to dig into some new research that pulls back the curtain on the profound limits of how AI actually thinks.
So let's just kick things off with this bombshell of a statement from a team of Apple AI researchers. They call the current state of AI reasoning the illusion of thinking. Now, that is a provocative claim, right? And it's the key to everything we're about to uncover.
To really get why that quote is so shocking, you first have to look at the hype. And, it's easy to see why everyone's so excited. AI models are getting superhuman results in so many different areas that it really does feel like we're on the verge of some kind of intelligence explosion.
I mean, think about this. Top AI models don't just pass the SAT. On the reading and writing part, they can score in the 93rd percentile. That's better than the vast majority of human high school students.
And it's not just language skills. On the math section, these same models can hit the 89th percentile. You look at these numbers, and it's almost impossible not to think, wow, this thing is genuinely brilliant. It seems to show this really deep level of comprehension and problem solving.
And this isn't just about test scores, right? This stuff translates to the real world. AI is passing the bar exam and medical licensing exams. It helped crack the protein folding problem, which was a challenge that stumped scientists for 50 years. It's designing brand new materials. It's writing complex software. I mean, these are not just parlor tricks. They are monumental achievements that totally fuel all the optimism about creating a true artificial general intelligence.
But right when that hype is reaching its peak, those Apple researchers show up with a big old bucket of cold water. Their study was designed to test not just what an AI knows, but how it reasons. And the results? Well, they were absolutely stunning.
So they used a classic logic puzzle called the Tower of Hanoi. The rules are super simple. You've got a stack of disks, and you just need to move the whole stack over to another peg. The catch? You can only move one disk at a time, and you can never, ever place a larger disk on top of a smaller one. It is a pure test of planning ahead and step-by-step logical reasoning.
So how did our super smart AI do? Well, on a simple puzzle with just 3 disks, the models were perfect, 100% accuracy. But add just one more disk, and their accuracy plummets to 50%. Okay, and with the 5th disk, making the puzzle only slightly harder, the most advanced models completely collapse. Their accuracy drops to 0. Not just wrong, but 0. They fail completely.
But wait, it gets even crazier. This is the part that just blows my mind. The researchers even tried giving the AI the exact step-by-step algorithm to solve the puzzle in the prompt. I mean, surely it can just follow instructions, right? Nope. Even when they handed it the solution on a silver platter, the models still failed.
This total collapse, this complete failure to reason points to a fundamental misunderstanding of what these AI models actually are. And to explain why they fail so badly, we need to introduce a concept that is absolutely essential for understanding modern AI.
So what is going on here? How can a model that passes the bar exam be completely stumped by a simple logic puzzle? Why does it look so incredibly intelligent one moment and then so hopelessly lost the next?
Well, the answer has a pretty fantastic name, a stochastic parrot. Think about it. A parrot can mimic human speech perfectly, but it has no idea what it's saying. Large language models kind of work the same way. They are masters of statistical pattern matching. After seeing trillions of words, they get incredibly good at predicting what the next word in a sentence should probably be. But there's no genuine understanding behind any of it.
And here's the crucial difference. A human understands the why behind the puzzle's rules. We build a mental model of it. An AI, on the other hand, just parrots patterns it saw in its training data. So when it faces a totally new problem that needs actual step-by-step reasoning, it has no patterns to fall back on, and the whole illusion of intelligence just shatters.
And this parrot nature has really serious consequences that go way beyond logic puzzles. As the scholar Ruha Benjamin puts it, these systems are trained on the internet, which is basically a reflection of all of human society. And if that training data is full of our ugliness, our biases, and our cruelty, well, the AI is just going to parrot that right back at us. Expecting it to only reflect the beauty is, as she says, a fantasy.
This lack of real understanding leads to what people call hallucinations, which is just a nice way of saying the AI makes stuff up. We've seen lawyers submit legal briefs to a court with totally fabricated case citations. We've seen image generators create bizarre, nonsensical images. And much more seriously, we've seen hiring tools that are biased against women because they're just mimicking decades of flawed, biased hiring data. These aren't glitches. They're the natural result of a system that only predicts, but never, ever understands.
This leads us to an even deeper, more troubling problem. If these systems don't actually understand their own decisions, and we can't understand them either, then who is responsible when things go wrong?
So just imagine an AI makes a critical error, let's say in a medical diagnosis or a big financial prediction. Naturally, the first thing we want to know is why. We have to understand the mistake to fix it and make sure it doesn't happen again.
But when we ask the AI to explain its reasoning, it can't. It doesn't have reasoning in the way we think of it. Now, it can generate a very plausible-sounding explanation for you, but it can't actually trace its own logical steps because there weren't any to begin with.
This is what's known as the black box problem. The inner workings of these models, with their billions and billions of calculations, are so ridiculously complex that even the people who created them can't fully explain why a specific input leads to a specific output. We see what goes in and what comes out, but the process in between is a complete mystery.
And this leads us to the bottom line, the really critical conclusion. If we can't understand why a decision was made, we can't hold anyone or anything accountable. An AI has no moral agency. It can't be held responsible for its actions. And this accountability vacuum is one of the single biggest ethical challenges we face with this technology.
So if AI is this powerful but deeply flawed tool that has no real reasoning or accountability, where do we go from here? Well, communities in science and ethics are now working hard to establish a new set of rules for this new reality.
And here's a really clear framework for how to use this stuff responsibly. The core principle is simple: human accountability. The researchers, the developers, they are responsible for the AI's output, full stop. And that requires radical transparency about how the AI was used. It also means no AI authorship. You can't list an AI as an author because authorship implies responsibility. And finally, a really practical rule: protect confidentiality. Treat these public AI tools like a public space. Don't ever put sensitive or private information into them.
So in the end, AI isn't some artificial mind. It's a powerful, probability-driven tool. It can amplify our intelligence and our creativity, for sure. But it can just as easily amplify our mistakes, our biases, and our worst instincts. It doesn't think, it reflects us. And maybe the goal isn't to build a machine that thinks for us, but to build a tool that we can trust and understand. And that leaves us with the real question. We've built an incredibly powerful tool. Are we wise enough to wield it?